Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal in this incarnation, and today we need to talk about the ascension process and the discernment of information. I've already talked about this, but I think it's very important to come back to this theme because there's a lot of things out there, a lot of different ideas, and I think it's very important to be open, to new perceptions in our lives. But this is not about getting rid out of logic. I think we have to translate logic to a bigger perspective or newer perspectives. So I think that every person that is very in touch with their own higher self, well, they are able to do this discernment. This is something energetical too. But I wanted to do this video more for the people that could be feeling confused about many things. And I myself learned to do this discernment process through making mistakes. So that's why I wanted to share this. And, this is not like an advice, but more like the tools that I used that I learned to use in order to understand which information is actually something that is serving for my own process and that is really a tool for my life, because I think this is important. So I'm going to put as an example Parraicini. Parraicini is this man that was a channeler, and I wanted to call him, I want to call him prophet, because I think he is the prophet of our times. The role of this man is much more important than than many people think, and that's why I'm expanding his labor. I did videos talking about the psychographies, and he was a man, a human being like everybody else, that was in touch with beings of another dimensions. And there are a lot of people, including myself, who we are in touch right now with those beings. So I don't think this is something very crazy anymore, because it is, if you wanted to call it that way, have been part of the process of the humanity since the beginning. And I'm going to do videos talking about this later. So I wanted to talk about him because if you go to those videos, you're going to see that many psychographies could be very apocalyptical, and apocalypse is actually revelation. So we are in revelation times. We are in an apocalypse, if you want to see it that way. But I showed you psychographies that were explaining events that already happened, and then he channeled a lot of psychographies that are talking about the future of humanity. I did videos talking about those too, because those are the ones that are very important. And what I am saying this because the psychographies that are talking about events that were accomplished, that actually happened, were in order for us to believe in the channel that he was. I think that was the only purpose. And there are a lot of other psychographies that talk about future events that, from the perspective of ego, could be perceived as a seed of manipulation and fear, but they are not. This man wasn't understanding, actually, in many cases, what he was channeling, because those beings were operating through him, and he only channeled the psychographies. So in fact, the story is that he was a very religious man, and at first he had fear of the things that he was channeling, and he tried to resist his mission, but those beings didn't let him, because we all know now that those psychographies were very, very important. And these psychographies are not saying that we are experimenting the end of the world. On the contrary, they are explaining how we have to align ourselves with our own soul and to act from love with ourselves and with other people in order to calibrate our own vibration with the planet and to transcend all of those events. In fact, the final part of the story is a very good one. I already talked about this. So I think this information, although I don't think this quantic line could be changed, and this is not because I don't want to. We are a whole collective, and in spite of many people yes in this spiritual awakening, there's a lot of people that they are not, and we are operating all together. We can co-create our own reality, and we can be in a different vibration or perception of our own reality. But the collective one is created by all of us. So the world needs to change right now. It's part of the cosmic change. And the people that cannot align with that change, well, they are going to incarnate in another place. And it's okay, because death actually doesn't exist. The soul is eternal. So it's okay. But this information, it's not a set of fear and control, because they are giving you the tool, align yourself, do the work, do your spiritual work, and you can be here and co-create your own reality, or descend your heaven on earth. You can create the paradise inside yourself to project it on the reality. And something important is that these beings are giving us the warning, because they have to interfere because of the nuclear activity in the planet. Because this not only could be like self-destructive, this is not only about the destruction of this planet that they invested a lot of time and resources. This is about that if we destroy ourselves, we can affect other planets of the system. And this is something that Dolores Cannon said. The psychographies are totally in coherence with other communicators. So I recommend her, because I liked very much her labor. It clarified a lot of things in my own way. So I wanted to put another example of something that could be seeded from manipulation and control. This invasion, this alien invasion that many people is talking about. They are admitting right now that there are beings of another dimensions, and I think this is something that I don't know why the human being is still questioning this, because we cannot be the only ones in a super infinite and vast universe. But well, I think ego operates that way many times, and they are admitting that there are beings of other planets, and they are creating this idea of invasion. And that idea, I think it comes from manipulation and control, because most of those beings, there are a lot of beings that are helping. There are others that are not, but most of them are helping us with the process, because we as humans are like living this childish process that we were. And we are in a process of maturity as a collective. So that's why those beings are helping us. And the invasion idea, the invasion quantic line that they are spreading, well, we don't have power about that. I think that is a set of control and manipulation, because aliens are going to invade the planet, so I can do nothing, because they are more powerful than us. I don't know. So I don't think that idea serves actually for my own process. I don't think so. I already explained this with the esoteric, in the video of esoteric symbology, because many people, sees a symbol of Saturn, and automatically they are thinking that that is about Satan. That is something that is Satanist. And yeah, those people actually psychopaths, or the lead, or whatever you want to call it, used symbologies along the process of humanity in order to manipulate. But the symbols are a quality that is neutral, and you can use it for one thing or another. It's part of the process of our own experimentation here. We can act, aligned with our soul, or we can act with our from our disconnected ego. So of course there are a group of people that have these intentions, but they are still here because they can many people is feeding them with their own energy. I already explained this. So not all the symbology means Satanism or Satan. In fact, Saturn, this planet that the old astrology called it as a malefic, it happened because the effects, the energy of Saturn, many times in an individual and in a collective way, brings these lessons of big spiritual maturity. And this is something that the human being have been resisting for a long time. You know, that lack of spiritual maturity is what brought us here. So that's what they called Saturn as a malefic one, but certainly that planet, it's not malefic. In fact, it's linked with structures and limits and healthy boundaries. So we all need that. We all need that, and we all need to grow. And many times to grow is tough in our individual experience. So that's why they totally misunderstood the energy of this planet. And this doesn't mean that it is something linked with, you know, Satan is a state of consciousness too, is our ego disconnected. So in fact, God and Satan are things that are inhabiting in ourselves. So they created all of those things in order to, you know, to manipulate. And let's remember that these psychopaths, they want that people be, you know, distrustful and paranoid and with fear. So they are doing that on purpose. And many people, they think they are awakening, but in fact, they are becoming more paranoid every time. So that's why I think it's very important discernment. I am not saying that these people doesn't exist. Of course they are. But we have to put a healthy boundary to ourselves. So other example of this could be, you know, when someone says, okay, you can save your soul only if you go to the temple, you know, only if you believe in that thing, only if you believe in Jesus Christ. It's okay. I love Jesus, you know, I love that master, but to believe in him is not going to save you, because you have to practice to be a better person. You have to detect your own imbalances and reequilibrate your energy and do better with yourself and with other people. And just to believe in Jesus is not going to save your soul. You know, this is about your daily practice and what you are doing to expand your own consciousness. You know, and if someone, I think it's very, you know, if you like to go to the temple because it makes you feel good, it's okay. But if you are going there because you are being, you know, like, I don't know how the word is, threatened, but, you know, this is the only way to save yourself. They are taking away you are letting that other people take away your own connection with this God, the infinite energy, the fount, whatever you want to call it. And this connection is something that you can do in your kitchen while you are eating a sandwich. You know, you don't need nothing external to create this connection in yourself. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, there are certain information that are giving the possibility to take your power and co-create your reality. And there are certain information that keeps you in a childish state. So I think this is the part that we have to take in account in order to understand if an idea, a concept, or something is serving me in my own process. What can I do with this? How can I apply this to my daily life? Because if it doesn't serve me for anything and it only takes my power, then I don't think it's good information. This is my perspective, of course. So I just want to leave the video here. Thank you, everybody, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.